so I will give it another try. I'm still doing like a super in detail analysis, and I don't want to do that. I actually want to make the most part of the game and like casual, not really casual, but like an overview kind of way, and not like really. I try to break down like every single play, try to reason it, and it really takes down like 30 minutes plus per 5-minute play, and that's well, it could be helpful. That's not really going to be practical at all for like more videos, and like nobody gonna watch it anyway, because it's nice to have a 30-minute long game, or in this case 37-minute long game to really watch, but like have to rewatch it with my comments and then have to stay on it for like 3 hours. It's not gonna help anybody. So we do it. We have here the game we talked about like last time with our dual lane fight. I would try to do like a really overview kind of game. I will break down a few of the more important fights that happened, a few decision makings I will place in question, and then we'll see how it goes. In general, we have our team comps. It's all set up. So we have a 2-1-2 with a 2-2-1 strategy. At that point, before the game starts, we have 5 seconds to minion spawn. We already know where the opponents are. We have the general placing, and I'm not trying to go too much into detail about the rotation of the opponents. Just like if a fight happens and what going wrong and what not. So with 1 player in middle and 2 on dual lane against 2 in middle and 1 on dual lane, we expect and pressure about the solo lane side of jungle. Because we have obviously an advantage on the solo lane, so blue buff and speed buff invades are possible, or securing the elementals. On the other side we have the same thing. At least they have the option to go for every buff, but they probably will go for the solo lane side buff after the first clear. So we have here our clear casually. We have here a fast and effective clear with the pull of Earthbreaker into the event smash. We have the opposing team going for an pretty standard speed buff invade. I would try to do that like that way. Just this maybe a bit better. I don't use it all too much. We have on the other side blue buff. It's done a lot slower. Now we have our first important point of the game. I try to keep it short, but in general we will see what will happen is Hercules will going to die while Hunbat escapes this fight. Cause Hunbat takes right passing in that situation. We have 2 level 2 opponents and 1 level 1 opponent. We have the best poking and slowing ability in the game and relatively high damage, plus insanely high damage and up to 2 forms of CC against the Sobek who can do nothing and away. We will see what will happen. Raz wants to stay in mid lane, so we have here clear communication was not made. He did not rotate afterwards, so the only point of making here to either make a really huge outplay or obviously to run. We will see what will happen. I will slow it down on half speed. We have an aggression on Hunbat's escape with his jump. And now Hercules is trying to fight the Zeus. I will chase down with Feather Step, and it's over. Just quick down. Why solo lane? Besides that Sobek had no chance to actually do CC. Solo lane side, the escape path to the tower is that route, and we have on the other side we have that route over here to that tower, or to that, or over to the tier 2. We have more paths, but all are a lot longer than going into the wave, having the minions peer for you, and trying to get something out of it. So it essentially just ends with destruction. But for dual lane, just losing the fight like we had it before. And then, of course, Hunbat and Sobek fighting it out. Hercules returning to lane. Next few minutes, distance. A fight, bit aggression, nothing too crazy, standard fighting going on. I kind of want to quick camp. Also allows you to do more. All seem good enough. We're going for buffs. Opposing team got their purple, or got the small ones. They also get the second speed buff. Mid lane clear goes in Ra's favor, so we have a bit of jungle pressure. We have another spot of a village. A good pull again. Secures 2 shower shots. Sobek is close to dead here. If that gank wouldn't have happened, that probably would have been a kill. Oh, we get some farm out of it instead, so that's nice. We have some speed up. We have a village returning to middle. Team goes for red buff. In that case, splitting up. One does the mid, one does the red buff, so no splitting here. Overall bad gold efficiency. Ra gets both, but yeah, that's not perfect in that sense. We have a 4-man aggression, not getting off, so basically just wasted rotations, 3-man, 4-man splitting, the buff and the wave. On the other hand, we have Hercules bullying Sobek with some good pulls overall, getting level 5 first. We have now the split up for both sides. One team goes for the oracles, getting their vision. The other team going back into lane for the wave clear, and we have the elemental secured. Split up, Hunbatsu went for the gank. We have here the perfect loader to avoid the plug. Hunbatsu clearing off, the ultimate actually saving Hercules in the end, but yeah, we had that gank. Hercules poked Sobek down pretty good, and then we had like that perfect loader to avoid the plug. Probably, at least, problem is the boulder did no damage to Sobek because he was in his immunity frame when he plugging. If you didn't saw it, that actually didn't do any damage. The ultimate, he's avoiding the plug, but does not get any damage out of it. I think I can make that play again, because that's mechanic. Yeah, always have to keep in mind it's not like the most common thing that will happen, but we have it here in game. So by getting a lot of poke using health potions, we have that good play. And now we have another body block, letting clear, good plug. Another bluestone apply. Doing them. And takes another wave. He's back. Now we have here, just for the mechanic guy, we have here perfect avoidance of the damage, and then the boulder does no damage. That's the famous immunity frames of Sobek. Just you guys have saw it. That's actually a thing that's intended to do so. So in that case, Hunbat's jumping in, gets his damage off, uses the ult for extra DPS, actually saving Hercules. Good play overall. Unfortunate with that boulder being blocked by the immunity frames. On the other hand, you avoid the stun, so trade-off. So major situation we had here. We had a stun, like a kill on solo side, with 1 low HP god, and Hunbat's also backing, so we have 2 guys backing. The opponent team knows that probably one will back. Ra is in right side jungle, and the duo lane just left the side to get 2-man back harpies. And nobody's spotting out that mid is missing. Nobody's spotting out that Medusa's rotating. So we have ourselves 3 uncontested and unnoticed Gold Fury. Okay, that was not intended purpose. Somebody tried to invite me. Stupid weak. So we just lost the Gold Fury, about 1k gold in behind. XP relatively even, plays on solo line, well, okay. But that were the beginning of the downfall of the game. With the Gold Fury, it's a bit of gold. We have 4 gold in hand, so backings are really necessary. Ram can finish his boots. About now he probably wants something more, and I really have to make sure the buttons are right. So we have player damage, wards placed, good place, wards placed to farm. However, Chariots of the Oracle didn't make any impact so far. Then, short thing, that ward, I spotted that on my last review. That ward does not help anything. The blue buff was made, or is made, right after. We have 2 wards who already spot out the major point, and actually having that ward here and here will actually kill the solo lane in a few moments. So we have that another play. We have 2-on-2 in middle lane. Ram returning to lane. Medusa's backing. We can spot that. Unbats is rotating for the jungle buff. So that ward basically did not bring us anything. We can secure a buff. You can see the Sobek charging in. So he's trying to force the fight. The bait actually happens, and we see now that ward is actually not bringing anything because Ariel is coming in, get her pull, and gets bugged by the spectator UI, and yeah, basically just in free kill they get elementals. Mid lane, not much really happening here. We get some forward, blue buff was secured, the ping comes out. Now we have a 4v4 mid lane grouping, and nothing really happens here. Red buff gets secured, mid lane opposing team leaves again. Now we have like that scenario. I have to back out here, which just take me a moment to get back. That's one of the like major downsides in this game. Like overall, probably the worst possible team fight I saw in that whole match. So start off, Funbats is going for mid camps, 2 in middle lane. Ram is rotating over, so he's rotating back. We have a red buff. Now we have the whole team checking, the opposing team checking for the mid camps. Funbats is far on, but he knows his teammates will come eventually. But now we see like that as slowed down. It's just embarrassing to watch, but you have to see it to really believe how bad it is. We have here the single-handed engagement on 2 players, a good Fear No Evil placed. However, we get 1 basic attack out of it. Now aggression on Capri. Hunbat gets actually avoided on his open smash by good feather step. Bit damage on Capri. Jing Chen ult comes after the Capri dash. Unfortunate timing. Now we get the double man Ching Chen ultimate, while the other mice get attacked by the chain lightning, try to disengage. Hunbat is jumping away. Ra is escaping. Now the double man throw comes. Ra setting up for the snipe, and yeah, we'll see what happens. And we have a cleanup, and yeah, we have overall 3 for 1 ultimate traded, lost total of the whole team, basically 2 players lost out of that 1 play. Another point, Abuelo is now rotating to solo side. We have a fight here. He's backing off now, goes into the ultimate, gets actually a few archers cleared, and dies basically in a 1v1 situation. I don't want to go in like 1v1s, is usually what you guys can see best. We have a really embarrassing 1v1 later. So let's see what we have coming. That was like the point. We had like a 30-minute recording on the last try, and I really want to speed up things a bit more. We have a bit of forwarding. Solo lane is fighting. We get another fight. It's actually a good point for making a small look in between. We have overall gold. Of course, we have it's so far behind. It's about 2k gold behind effectively, and 1k XP. That's not all too bad. That's coming mainly down to that 1 gold Fury early. a few fights lost, 1-5. We have XP, we have the player damage actually showing, not really showing the story, but like we had that 3-man team fight, and we have 3 lowest damaging gods. And like what's placed probably is the viable source. We're 4 with what's placed on our. I really have to practice that. I probably should know these cases, but like we have 4 what's placed and like overall good map vision. Except for that like ward situation here. We have both defensive ward spots. We have that secure gold theory view. And yeah, that's our current status. We have here our stats. And I will forward the game a bit more. We should see something happening in a few minutes. At least 1 minute. Okay, here's the thing. We have a Ram and Dolane. Medusa already rotated out. We spotted her by our 2 wards. Spectator client. We have that ward spotting out that Medusa were coming mid. So we have 3 people effectively in mid. We know by that ward that 2 people are here. And we have a 2v2 situation. So that's a baited fight. So I'm back with recording. I was overshooting a bit in that first try. And so will resume here. And like cut out a lot of minutes. I was talking about nothing important. Yeah, we have now a pretty interesting strategy here. We have that bait on the blue buff respawning. Of moving around, and that situation is okay. We have like again a miscommunication or misskilling. We're having here the driving strike and the finale at the same time, which gets beated out late. That crit coming into play, it's an easy kill, and even some return damage, but it's a free kill basically. Good builder to secure the kill. Problem here, and that's a bit more important, we have our ADC in dual lanes, so we have 5 opponents on the middle to right side of the jungle with a 2v2, so we have in mid is 2v3. And now, I'm not sure, yes we have the aggression, I have to rewind time again for it, so I will be back in a few seconds before. So here I'm back. I just rewound a bit the time, so cut it out to make it more smooth. We have the same play here on a solo side, we already saw. Now we have here a 2v3 situation. And an interesting attempt, but a poorly outcome, I would say. We have the 3-man in middle lane, ADC support and mid lane. We have double purple buff, just to be noticed, and red buff against nothing, even level out. Now we have that engage, that bait. Team tries to rotate. They obviously telegraph they want to rotate for that. So we see what will happen. We have actually a pretty good knock up to delay them, plus root, into the Xingqiang ult. The Ra snipe will hit the Zeus for a lot of damage. He will beat out. We have a good damage now. That was a perfect fight. Now, but again, the commitment on the Zeus kill after that, after he beats out, actually cost them the attempt. It was a good try. The Capri ult was forced. The return damage killed Xingqiang. So we had that fight already on that side. That secured the kill. The block was a good attempt and probably the best situation you could do in a 2v3 without doing nothing. And we have here our solo line fight finishing. We have the full on rotation onto the dual side. Sobek is still fighting. That disengage is good. And we have the blue buff still anyway. So we have a global 1-for-1 trade still favorable. But in that case not needed. The engage was good. The idea was good to get that 3-man channel. Capri gets out of dash and Dio survives with the Capri ult anyway. It was 3-0 speed. That shouldn't have been a commitment. That route was pretty good, knock-up route, and yeah, I shouldn't stop talking so much about anything. Now we have Medusa chasing down. We have good passing here on the escape, doing the best angle to not get hit anymore, and finally get out. Opposing team will do their stuff, do the disengage, and grouping finally up for the mid lane push.